Well, I always wanted to do a degree. I went to university as a mature student, and I remember years before actually going to university, I used to read Ebony magazine. Do you know Ebony magazine? Yes. And I used to keep them on the coffee table, and I used to say to myself, one day I would attend university like a lot of people who were featured in the magazine. It's an American magazine, so they did a big thing around graduation, and I just thought university would be an opportunity for me to really develop myself as an individual. I was a parent at the time. I had separated from my ex-husband, and I had four young children. My children were, I think they were 10, 11, coming up to 11, 10, 8, and 6 when I decided to go to university. So they were quite young. But I always remember having the imagery of the Ebony magazines on my coffee table and thinking, I really want to do a degree. At the time, I was very much interested in life coaching, and that's what I really wanted to do. But because I had 4 children, at the time, a lot of the courses were residential courses, and they weren't, they were weekends, and I didn't have the network or the support to go away every weekend or every second weekend for someone to look after my children. So I thought, well, what are my options? So I spoke to my employer, and my employer was working for a local authority at the time, and they said to me that they were willing to sponsor me, but they wouldn't sponsor me for life coaching because life coaching wasn't something they felt I could use at work. So I asked them, what could I do? And they said, well, you could do a housing degree, because that's what I was doing. I was working in housing. So I thought to myself, actually, yes. I signed up to university, started my housing degree. Well, I could have done it as a HND only, but I wanted to do a degree. I could have jumped on the degree initially and do it over 3 years, but because I hadn't studied for so long, I decided that I was going to do an HND first that led into a degree. So I remember the first day that I actually started the course, I felt so proud of myself. When I was walking up to the university and I saw the sign that said South Bank University, I felt quite overwhelmed with emotion. I thought, I'm actually here. I'm actually starting this degree. So the degree itself, or at the time it was the HND, it was a real journey for me. It taught me things that I didn't expect, because I thought initially that the degree was just going to be about the academic side. But I learned so much more about myself as an individual. It really pushed me, stretched me, it took me out of my comfort zone. Also at the time, I was very interested in personal development, and I think that's because of the things that I was going through in my own personal life. As I said earlier, I had separated from my ex-husband. We were going through our divorce. I had the 4 children. So going to university was an added pressure, you could say, in my life with everything else that was going on. My children were very active in terms of, activities outside of school. So that was like football, that was dance, that was, all the kind of things that children enjoy doing. So I really had to be focused and structured. But I remember it was actually personal development that really helped me through. And people used to say to me, Sonia, how do you do it? How do you manage it? And for me, I had to have a structure in place. I really did, because going through a divorce at the same time as studying, at the same time as working, and going to university was a lot of pressure. And I think with the personal development, that really helped me. That really helped me to focus. That helped me to develop an inner strength that I didn't know that I had. All I knew is that I wasn't going to fail and I wasn't going to finish. And in the 5th year of my degree, 5th year, I became ill. And I think that part of that could have been burnout. And I remember saying to myself, I could finish now and have a degree without honours, but I wanted the honours. So my tutor said to me, if I continue, I could take a year out and I could continue and come back a year later and do my dissertation and then finish the course with honours, which I'd done. I'd done that. And one of the key things that helped me through my degree was a saying that I had post-it notes all over my computer workstation at home. Something so simple that said, failure is not an option. I graduated. I was overwhelmed. It was amazing. I took my children to my graduation ceremonies. In fact, I had two graduation ceremonies. One when I graduated from my HND and the other one when I graduated from the full degree. And it was a beautiful experience for me. And one of the reasons why I went to university as well, it was to teach my children, set an example to them that what you set out to achieve in life, you can achieve, and not necessarily about education, even though that was important,